Alright, what's up y'all? This is Jibby. This is going to be my quick and dirty tutorial on how to optimize an avatar. Quick disclaimer, I am doing this off the top of my head. No script here, so if I include a lot of ahs and ums, I'll try to delete as much as I can. And here we go. So here I am in Unity. This is an avatar I created for an event. And if I go into the SDK, we can see that it's currently very poor, 153,000 tries, texture memories at 172, and a whole lot of ugliness going on over here. So we're going to do our best to get this away from very poor. At least try to get it to poor, or at least a medium like I did with my other avatar. So we're gonna, let's just switch that to build and tests. And let's begin. So the main programs we are going to be using today is, of course, Unity. The other program that we might need to touch later, this is for the free option, because there is going to be, unfortunately, a paid tool that does make this easier. But if you don't want to use the paid tool, Blender is here. It's for one of the skin optimizations we can do. Mesh optimizations we can do. But we'll get that to later. We're going to do the easy stuff first. So first, we are going to do our texture optimizations. And we are going to use Limitex's Avatar Compressor. This will get our all of the materials that we have optimized. I'm sorry, not materials. The textures optimized. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into here. I already added the component, but it's going to be LAC texture compressor. It's a really quick one-click fix. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong avatar. Typically, a lot of the avatars I like to use do use kind of detailed textures. You could probably get away with the better quality fixes. For me, I'm going to use high quality. I don't really touch anything else. And then we're gonna hit preview, and it'll show us how good the compression is gonna go down to. So it went from 154, and it's gonna be an estimated 51 megabytes total, which is pretty solid. Besides, the other things that you can do is like manually going to each and every texture and dropping them down to like maybe 1024, 2048. So you see all of these, I could probably just go back, switch them all to 1024, and then we'll go off from there. Okay, I'm back. I just manually switched over a lot of the materials over to 1024 or lower or whatever. Except for this jacket, I kept it a higher resolution just to make sure that the patches stay relevant. I'm going to hit preview compressions and results again and see if it makes any difference. All right, cool. So with the changes I made, it's now down to 38, which is pretty good for me. Okay, step 2 is going to be our skin mesh renderer. We're going to try to make sure everything wow, I can't talk. Okay, the next thing is to merge the skin meshes, or all the meshes together as one. And what we're going to need to do is we are going to need our next item, which will be AAO Avatar Optimizer. This will be a lot of the heavy leg work that we're going to use to optimize the avatar's polys. AAO merge skin mesh. Okay, now that we have AAO merge skin meshed added in, we're going to go to skin renderers, and we're just going to add one by one all the stuff that we want to merge into a single skin mesh. So I'm going to go by each asset that I have and add it to that list. I'm gonna click that. Oh, okay. Let's not do it. We'll do it by. Right, we should be able to drag and drop. Okay, bet. Okay, now that I've dragged and dropped everything over here, we won't see any changes until we go into the SDK and actually upload it into VRChat. So we're going to come back to that later. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is, you see how I have all my blend shapes turned off because they're hidden behind all the clothes. Next thing to do is we're going to add another component of the AAO, and we are going to do remove mesh by Blendshape. So what does this do? This lets us toggle off what meshes get deleted depending on what I zeroed out. So let's see. I'm going to basically click on everything that I have turned off, and it'll delete that mesh for me because it's not visible. Right, there we go. So this will basically delete the mesh on upload so that it saves us a couple more polygons. Okay, the last step of our optimization, which will do the heavy lifting, is going to be this program right here called Mantis LOD Editor. Now I understand that the price is pretty steep for this, so that's why we have our other option, which will use a little bit more elbow grease, Blender. Now both work just the same. The only thing we are going to be doing is essentially decimating the FPX of the item so that it's more optimized. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how LOD works, and then we're going to switch it over to Blender. So right here, I have these horns selected. And then I added the component Mantis LOD. Now what this basically does, it gives us a live preview of what a decimation could look like. So if I scale the quality down, you'll see how the horns are slowly deforming until it's basically nothing. What you want to do is find a nice balance of, like, oh my god, I don't know how to zoom in. Alright, whatever. Find a nice detailed balance of quality versus polys. So just keep going down until you feel comfortable enough. Like already over here at 50% decimation. It's not that bad, and I've saved myself a couple thousand polygons by doing that, and we're essentially going to do that for all of the items. So once I've selected, let's say 50%, I'll hit save current message. So I have a folder for optimized meshes. I'll create a folder for red. Go in here, and it already names it for you and the percentage of how you optimize it. Hit save. Now what we're going to do is actually go into the item itself, and we are going to change the mesh. So where's it at? We're going to go to the skin mesh render. We're going to change this mesh. Oops. We're going to assets. Just opti. There we go. We're just going to drag that in, and it'll completely replace the mesh. And that's with Mantis LOD. Now, say you don't have the $50 to spend on a single tool. It's totally fine. We are going to use Blender instead. Okay, the next thing that we are going to do, which will do a lot of the heavy lifting for getting our polys optimized, is going to be through Blender. Oh my god, I cannot fucking talk. Okay, so for those who do not want to use Mantis LOD, because I know $50 is a lot of money, trust me, it kind of hurts having to just use it to optimize an avatar, we have Blender. Blender is going to be our key friend over here. This is just a standard scene. All I did was delete everything off of it. So what we are going to do is we are going to find our mesh for the horns we want to optimize. We'll click on that. Usually it should, yeah, okay, there we go. I'm going to click on this, right click it, and I'm going to go to Show and Explorer. Brings it up over here. I'm going to bring up Blender and just drag it and drop it. Import it. So here's our item right here. Super simple. We're going to click on it. We're going to go to the right. We're going to go to Add Modifier. We're going to go to Generate, and we are going to go to Decimates. And it basically uses the same process as LOD. We have a slider over here. So like how we did LOD to 50%, we are also going to set this to 50. And it'll automatically decimate it for us. And we are going to hit apply. So now if I go down to statistics, we can see that the tries kind of matches the original thing of LOD. It's pretty close. LOD was like a little bit better, but this will work fine for us. So now that it's like this, we're going to hit File, Export, FBX. And we are going to go back into our avatar project. And we are going to replace the FBX of the horns. We're going to hit Export. Let's go back in here. Now it might change the material. That's fine because I still have the original material here. We'll drag and drop. And bam. Easy as that. And now we are just going to go through all of our items over here, hit it with LOD or Blender, and then we'll check out our final results at the end. Okay, I'm back. I've gone and basically optimized every single mesh that I could. Went from the horns, the headphones, the necklace, which is won't be as crazy, to the jacket, even the shirt, the pants, and the shoes. So after all of that, let's see the grand total of the optimizations before we even upload. So we got ourselves down to 108. Skin measure, all of this is still pretty high. But we will do a test upload into VRChat right now. And hop into VRChat and see the actual applied changes. Because they won't show all the way in regular Unity. So we'll wait until we come back. Okay, just finished test uploading to VRChat. You might get this window. Honestly, I just exit out. It doesn't really change anything about the avatar, but now let's hop into VRChat. Okay, we are now in VRChat, and as you can see, our results way better than what was projected. Originally, it was sitting around like, what was it, 156,000? We got our texture size down to a good amount. So the only thing I really need to do right now is figure out a way to get rid of 27,000 polys. I mean, at this point, I might have to make a compromise about getting rid of some of the accessories. I'm gonna assume that the chains are taking up a lot, and you know what? I never really double checked the headset, so let me go back and double check the headset. Okay, we are back. So we actually did have to make some compromises. Unfortunately, I did have to get rid of the headset and the 2 chains, but we are now down to medium. 65,000 polys, or tries, sorry. And everything is in working order. I do have around like 4,000 tries to play with, but you know what, I'd rather not. I'm gonna settle with this look. It's not too different from the final look. I'm just gonna slightly miss the headset and the 2 chains, but you know what, I got to keep the choker, and with the spare tries I added these hairpins. So there you go. We went from 157 or 150k tries down to sub 70, and our texture size went from like around 170 down to 35. So that's a win.